welcome to Pekubenmich Folktales Stories channel. Please comment, like, share and subscribe.
Once upon a time, in a vast, golden savanna, there lived a little rabbit named Oliver. He was small, with soft brown fur and big, floppy ears. Oliver lived in a cozy burrow beneath a tree, surrounded by tall grass and bright wildflowers. Despite being small, Oliver was known for his kindness, and he loved helping his animal friends. He would hop from one friend to another, always ready to lend a paw or offer advice, no matter how big or small the problem. Though the other animals often thought of him as just a simple rabbit, they knew that Oliver possessed something truly special, a heart full of love for everyone he met. One day, as Oliver was hopping through the meadow, he noticed something unusual. A large, majestic lion named Leo was sitting under a tree, looking very sad. Leo was known as the king of the savanna, strong and proud, with a golden mane that shimmered in the sunlight. But today, he seemed different. His mighty frame slouched, and his golden mane hung low, as though weighed down by an invisible burden. His once proud eyes, which usually sparkled with confidence, were now clouded with worry. Oliver, being the kind rabbit he was, approached Leo cautiously. "Hello, Leo. Is everything okay?" he asked softly, his voice barely above a whisper, as if not wanting to disturb the heavy air around the lion. Leo looked up, surprised by the small voice. "Oh, little rabbit, I wish it were," Leo replied with a sigh, his deep voice carrying a tone of sadness. "I've been trying to help my kingdom, but I feel like I'm failing. The rains haven't come, and the grass is drying up. The animals are scared, and I don't know what to do." Oliver's heart went out to Leo. He had always admired Leo's strength, his confidence, and his leadership, but he could see that even the king of the savanna needed help sometimes. Oliver knew that while Leo's strength made him an incredible leader, his heart had always been open to the needs of others. But this time, it was clear that the great lion was struggling. "But you're the king, Leo. Everyone looks up to you. You're strong, wise, and brave," Oliver said, trying to comfort him with gentle words. "Surely, you can fix this." Leo shook his head, his mane moving slowly. "I feel powerless. No matter what I do, the rains won't come. And the animals are losing hope. I don't know how to bring the rains back," he said, a hint of frustration creeping into his voice. Oliver thought for a moment. He wasn't the biggest or the strongest animal in the savanna, but he knew that sometimes, it wasn't about physical strength. "Maybe you don't have to do it alone," he said, his eyes sparkling with an idea. "Maybe there's something I can do to help." Leo looked down at the tiny rabbit, puzzled. "You? What could you, a little rabbit, possibly do that I cannot?" Leo's voice was gentle but filled with disbelief. He could hardly imagine how a creature as small and gentle as Oliver could help with such a big problem. Oliver's ears perked up, and he stood tall, his paws clenched with determination. "Sometimes, it's not about strength or size. Sometimes, it's about something else: kindness, courage, and teamwork. I believe we can bring the rains back together." Leo, although skeptical, felt a flicker of hope stir inside him. "What do you have in mind, little one?" Oliver explained, "I've heard stories from the birds about the sacred oasis hidden deep in the savanna. It's said that if the king and a humble friend visit it together, the spirit of the land will hear their plea and bring the rains. The journey is long and dangerous, but if we face it together, we can succeed." Leo's eyes widened. "You want me to go on this journey with you? But I am the king. I should lead my kingdom, not walk into the unknown with a little rabbit." Oliver looked up at Leo with a calm, wise smile. "I believe that true strength isn't just about leading others, it's about knowing when to ask for help. And together, we can do what neither of us could do alone." Leo thought about this for a moment. His pride and fear started to fade, replaced by a quiet understanding. The weight of leadership had been so heavy on him lately, and he realized that perhaps asking for help wasn't a sign of weakness, but a sign of wisdom. "You're right, Oliver. I may be strong, but strength isn't always about being alone. It's about trust and friendship." And so, the unlikely pair set off on their journey, walking side by side through the tall savanna grasses. They crossed vast plains, where the sun beat down mercilessly, the earth cracked and dry beneath their paws. The air was thick with dust, and Oliver could feel the weight of the journey on Leo's broad shoulders. Still, the lion trudged forward, never once complaining, trusting in Oliver's guidance. They trekked through dense forest, where the trees loomed overhead like ancient guardians. The thick canopy blocked out much of the sun, casting the forest in a dim light. Oliver's small frame allowed him to squeeze through narrow openings in the underbrush, while Leo, though large, cleared obstacles with ease. Along the way, they encountered rocky hills that tested their resolve. When the path became too steep, Oliver used his agility to find safer routes, and Leo's powerful limbs helped them navigate the rough terrain. At times, they encountered wild storms that seemed to appear out of nowhere, with wind howling through the savanna and rain pouring down in torrents. But through it all, Oliver remained steadfast, keeping Leo's spirits up with kind words and encouragement. Leo, in turn, protected Oliver from the worst of the weather, ensuring that his smaller friend stayed safe during the fierce gust. As they reached the sacred oasis, the air shimmered with magic. The oasis was a hidden, tranquil place, filled with shimmering pools of water that reflected the light of the sun in dazzling patterns. Glowing flowers, their petals like soft lanterns, dotted the landscape, and a gentle breeze carried the scent of sweet blossoms. The oasis was surrounded by towering trees, their ancient roots deep in the earth, and in the center of it all stood an ancient tree, its branches reaching high into the sky, as if touching the heavens themselves. The tree spirit could feel the needs of the land and the hearts of those who approached it. Leo knelt before the tree, his large form bowed in humility. "Great Spirit of the land, I have come to ask for your help. My kingdom is suffering, and the rains have not come. Please, help us," Leo said, his voice low and filled with sincerity. Oliver, standing beside Leo, added, "And may we always remember that strength comes from within, from working together and caring for one another." The air around them seemed to pause. For a moment, there was complete silence. Then, the ground rumbled softly, and the sky darkened. The wind picked up, swirling around them like a gentle embrace. And then, as if answering their call, the rain began to fall. It started gently at first, like a soft whisper against the earth, and then it grew heavier, until it poured down in a joyful, life-giving shower. The savanna, which had been dry and parched for so long, now came alive with the sound of rain. The animals of the savanna gathered around, celebrating as the rain nourished the land. The grass turned green again, the flowers bloomed in vibrant colors, and the rivers flowed with fresh water, bringing life to every corner of the savanna. Leo looked at Oliver with a newfound respect. "You were right all along, little rabbit. You've taught me a valuable lesson today, that sometimes, it's not the size or strength that matters, but the heart and the courage to work together." Oliver smiled up at Leo. "And you, Leo, are not just the king of the savanna because of your strength, but because of the kindness and wisdom you carry within. Today, you showed what true leadership really is." From that day on, Leo and Oliver became the best of friends. Together, they led the savanna with wisdom, compassion, and unity. They knew that no matter how big or small, every creature had something important to offer, and by helping one another, they could face any challenge that came their way. Whether it was bringing the rains or facing another challenge, Oliver and Leo stood side by side, their bond unbreakable. And so, the savanna flourished, with rainbows in the sky and peace in the hearts of its animals. The animals of the savannah had learned a valuable lesson from the brave little rabbit and the gentle lion, that no matter the size or strength, true leadership came from working together and caring for one another. With every new day, the savannah thrived, and the animals knew that as long as Oliver and Leo stood together, they could overcome any obstacle that came their way.
Thanks for watching. Like, comment, share, and subscribe.